Hopefully this will work. I'll see everybody as you come in. All right, you got you guys joining me now. I got Adrian. Waiting for Katina and Whitney. And then once Katina and Whitney are in, we will get going. Thank you guys for your patience on this. All right. As soon as I get Katina in, how are you doing, Adrian? Are you doing okay? All right. So please send me a quick little thumbs up if you can see the slides. Adrian, did you have any problem joining in? Good, thumbs up. All right. You didn't have any problem joining? We're just still
no problems. No
okay,
problem.
good. Just waiting for the other two to join us, but I think we'll go ahead and start without them, and we'll be saving this recording.
All right, that's perfect.
All right, so chapter 14 is massage in the spa setting. If you have your book out, I will let you know when we get to a highlight. We're kind of going through a little bit more than the highlights, but for the most part, it's covering the main things. And again, as I said, these slides are available to you in MindTap as well to be able to view them. So if you get behind on which are the highlights, you can always re-watch this video or go to the PowerPoint slides in MindTap. So let's get started. So massage in a spa setting. Massage in a spa setting is one of the fastest growing fields in massage therapy. Understanding the basics of spa treatments give massage practitioners a competitive edge for finding employment. And I want you to highlight there on page 527, according to the International Spa Association, or the ISPA, a spa is defined as devoted to enhancing overall well-being through a variety of professional services that encourage the renewal of mind, body, and spirits. As I go through, if you need me to stop at any time, let me know, and we'll just continue to go on forward. Okay, I see Katina in now, Adrian and Katina. All right, so let's go ahead and go forward then. Let's go through a little history of spas. The origins of the word spa itself offer clues to an important aspect of the spa experience, which is water. Water is the essence of many spa services. I want you to highlight that in your book on page 529 under Describe a Brief History of Spas. That second sentence, water is the essence of many spa services. And again, if for some reason you don't get the highlight, these slides, these PowerPoint slides are on MindTap, and you'll be able to watch this video after it's uploaded. So archaeological studies show that the earliest spas were often found at the source of natural springs or as in ancient Roman baths as well, at sites where water was redirected via what they call aqueducts. And if you look a little bit further down in that same paragraph, I want you to highlight, by most accounts, it is an acronym, which is a word formed by putting together the first letters of other words. In this case, they are the Latin words sanitas per aqua. So spa is likely an acronym for the Latin word sanitas per aqua, which translates to healing through water. And in your book, it says health through water. However, the original meaning, and this is not a highlight, however, the original meaning is to believe, to be from the word spagir, which means to sprinkle or flow like a fountain or a spring. So the biggest part of the spa experience usually involves some form of water. All right, I have everybody in now. Good. Perfect. So the history of spas, continuing a little bit further, and this carries over on to, there's not a highlight yet. As Roman civilization spread, so did the use of baths, and many Roman outposts were built at the sites of springs. This occurred from North Africa all the way to England. And if you look on page 530, you'll actually see that paragraph at the top that says, as Roman civilization spread, ... what I just said. So let's go ahead and highlight that. Let's go ahead and highlight also that many locations still feature spas today, and some, like the one that I actually pictured in this slide presentation in Bath, England, have undergone extensive renovations. And then you're going to see under the Turkish hammam, descendants of the Roman thermae, Turkish hammams, and I want you to highlight that in your book, were part of many mosques until they achieved enough significance on their own that now you find hammams or Turkish baths separate from the mosques. So highlight in your book, descendants of the Roman thermae, hammams were part of many mosques until they achieved significance. If at any time you need to stop me, let me know. All right, so there's also spa routes in Asia. As you'll see here, and a beautiful ancient spa, actually. Through the centuries, Asia has given natural hot springs significance in their lives, and some cultures actually consider them sacred. And I want you to highlight, in Japan, springs became known as onsen and were used for communal bathing, personal renewal, and meditation. I want you to continue highlighting. Onsens are also found in natural outdoor settings. European spas, beautiful one right there, right? Europe has a long tradition of spas and spa therapy, beginning with the expansion of the Roman culture. Highlight under European spas, it's towards the bottom of that first paragraph. The Finns are famous for their saunas, the Russians for their banyas. Highlight that word banyas. You're going to see it in like a bold burgundy red color. So basically what we're highlighting are the different names depending on the culture. Banyas are for Russian. Good so far? All right, so we're going to learn a little bit about the spa industry. The spa industry is considered officially part of the hospitality industry and provides extremely specialized services. The hospitality industry is the combined hotel, resort, restaurant, and entertainment industry that relies especially on customer service and professional hospitality. At the very bottom of the page 531, that last sentence of that paragraph, I want you to highlight, of the spa body services performed worldwide, massage therapy remains by far the most popular. Approximately 70% of all spa guests receive massage or body treatments. So that means we're a really big part of that spa industry. Massage therapy is what the majority of the people utilize. And if you switch over very quickly to page 532 in your Beck book, you'll see a little pink box that says hospitality industry. And I just want you to make sure you highlight that box. Just explains that the hospitality industry is the combined hotel, resort, and entertainment industry. And I don't think I have added this to a slide anywhere, but back on page 531, sorry to have you guys flip back and forth. There's a box down below on that right-hand side that says Sweat Lodge. I want you to highlight that a sweat lodge is a Native American enclosure for sweating, cleansing, and purification. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to a sweat lodge. I've been once. You sweat a lot. A lot. All right, good. Everyone's in. So let me know if you guys, I'm coming back to me again for a quick moment. Are you guys having any problems seeing the slides or anything like that? If you do, either unmute or let me know, and we'll see what we can do to help get you into the slides that I'm scrolling through. Hopefully it's going as smoothly for you as it is for me on this end. All right. So we have lots of different types of spas out there. They offer a lot of different choices. Some of them are just short stays, some of them are overnight stays. Although they're all unique, they're usually divided into 6 different types. We have a destination spa, which is basically where you're going to stay overnight. There's accommodations, etc. You have hotel resort spas, so you're at a normal hotel or resort, but they have spa there. Of particular interest, and I want you to highlight this on page 532, is a day spa. Highlight day spa in that table 14-1. And a day spa, under description, is a spa where guests visit a few hours or a day with no sleepover accommodations available. So a lot of the places that we could work, like the Hand and Stone, Massage Envy, there's a lot of them out there, those are day spas. Somebody can come get a massage and a facial. Some spas might be massage, facial, pedicure, or makeup, etc. There's also club spas. A lot of times those are in fitness facilities, medical dental spas, and mineral springs spas. No, you cannot. No, Katina, you can't see the slides, or yes, you can. I'm just checking the chat real quick before we move on. And if you need to unmute, if for some reason I missed, oh, you can see them. Okay, great. All right, good. All right, perfect. On my end, it looks a lot different. Okay, so we just went over the different types of spas. We're going to talk a little bit about how massage practice works in a spa setting. So the scope of practice is really important, and you're going to find this also on page 533. Massage in the spa setting has the same limitations to scope of practice as in any professional massage setting. However, there are usually additional points to consider. And if you look on page 533, you'll see some bullets. And I'm going to kind of go over these, but I want to make sure that you highlight the 2 bullets on the bottom of page 533 and the 2 bullets on the top of page 534. It may be someone's first massage. It's important to be sensitive to this. Always starting with lighter pressure first until trust and comfort exist. Kind of just like what we taught you here in hands-on. We wanted to make sure that we do that static touch first. We go more superficial, then to deep, and then back to superficial. We have to build that trust and comfort that they know we're not going to hurt them, that they're going to be comfortably draped, not feeling exposed or anything else. And when you first start out, it's best to limit massage strokes to Swedish on their first visit. Slowly introduce them to deep tissue. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been deep tissued before when you didn't expect to be or didn't want to be, but you probably didn't want to go back to that therapist. Sometimes people have a bad first impression of massage if they got deep tissued and they didn't want to, right? They ended up in a lot of pain, it wasn't relaxing, etc. So you'll also see it says clear communication is vital when using deeper techniques. You always have to let them know. You always have to respect if they're holding their breath, they're guarding, and that anything that you're doing is too much. Often people are on a quest for better health. They're open to suggestions about nutrition, diet, and lifestyle. It's important to remember this does not fall within our scope of practice, right? We don't give them diet tips. We don't give them lifestyle tips. Now you can give them stretching and things like that, like drink more water and and do these stretches like part of what we want them to do to continue to feel better between visits. But we're not giving them nutrition, diet, or lifestyle tips at all. Doesn't fall within our scope of practice, and we don't want to be liable for anything they may do, right? Long-term physical conditions may be present, ranging from addictions to obesity to heart disease, especially destination spas where people are coming for a week stay. They're usually there for diet. Sometimes they're there because they're stressed. Sometimes it's because they're trying to lose weight. We have to take into consideration any conditions that exist. It's important not to promise any benefits that cannot be substantiated or are not sanctioned by the spa you work in. And of course, you'd be trained on specifics for that spa location if you know what their policies and procedures are, right? Therapists can rightly claim benefits from things such as heat. We know what heat does. It helps make the muscles more pliable. It helps make the fascia looser so we can get in there deeper and everything. So we can make claims about things like that. Special products such as herbs, clays, and seaweeds, etc. And the benefits of massage that we know are clear scientific benefits of massage. You must also be familiar with contraindications for heat. There's a lot of heat used in the spa-like setting. Hot stone is one of the most popular ones, but usually you're going to find heated tables. You're going to find saunas, steam rooms, things like that. It's up to us to know, like, certain autoimmune disorders like lupus, heat can cause a flare-up. Like, you need to do your research. If you don't have much time, Google. If somebody says that they have something like lupus or fibromyalgia or diabetes, any of those normal contraindications for heat. And you can always find those online as well. All right, we're going to move on. So a lot of spas have intake procedures, and a lot of times they also have an intake specialist. If you look on page 534, there's a little pink box to the left that says intake specialist. Intake specialists, also known as hospitality coordinators or spa concierges, focus on pairing guests with appropriate treatments, therapist services, and lifestyle choices during the spa stay. So each spa is unique in their intake procedures and screening process. If you look under intake procedure, I want you to highlight that second sentence, third sentence. Some have well-trained intake specialists. And those specialists usually know, like, certain conditions and what they recommend. Go see this person for this diet, go see this person for this massage. Oh, you want Lomi Lomi? Well, Adrian's your guy for Lomi Lomi, or something like that, right? They specialize in knowing their therapists. They know the ins and out of the entire spa so that they can pair them perfectly with who probably would be best suited for them. So number of massages performed. Hopefully we've talked about this with you during body mechanics when you were in level 1. And that is that we have to know our limits, right? Under number of massages, because massage therapy is the most popular service in spas, it's necessary for therapists to perform several back-to-back sessions. I want you to highlight that in your book as well, under number of massages. Next paragraph, numbers vary, but the normal number is approximately 5 per day. I know some therapists who will do 7. That's pushing it. It depends on how many days a week you're working, if you're working 3 days a week or not. But more than 5 a day, back to back. Sometimes you can specify, I'm going to do 3 massages. I need my break, 3 massages or something like that. When I worked at Hand and Stone, I wouldn't do more than 3 1-hour massages, or maybe 2 1-hour and a 90-minute without my 1-hour break. I knew physically where my stopping point was when I needed to have just a little bit more downtime in between so that I could do my best job for the client. Many therapists enter the spa industry only to leave disillusioned a few years later due to disability, permanent injury. Once you start seeing 15, 20, 25 an hour plus anywhere from $10 to $20 an hour tips, some therapists will start to work too many hours. You have to know when you're in burnout, when you're able to quit, when you need to quit, when your body says that you have had enough. You have to listen to your body, and emotionally, mentally too. Sometimes it can be very emotionally or mentally taxing depending on what kind of industry you're in. You might be working on, people who like in the cancer industry and things like that. What is your emotional breaking point as well, where you need to just take that time off? So if you look over on the top of page 535, the second paragraph, last sentence, it's just that last bullet that I want you to highlight in your book. Many therapists have enthusiastically entered the spa industry only to leave disillusioned a few short years later because of disability. And lastly, if you look over on page 536, second bullet at the top, a therapist should never solicit tips. See that little jar in the slide that says we've got cats to feed and lots of student debt? That's a no-no. Tips are accepted, but massage practitioners should never directly or indirectly ask for them. Indirectly means, I did a chair massage event with a girl who used to take like 3 ones out of her pocket, crumple them up a little, and sit them on the table in plain view where people who were getting chair massage could see them. She was indirectly asking for tips, and we don't ever want anybody to feel like they have to tip us. Most people know within the United States that you tip people in the service industry, but we don't want to ask for them. It's not classy. We hope that they tip us, right? All right, I'm going to continue moving on. No questions so far, it seems like. All right, so advanced spa services and techniques. This is where I start to get excited, and I wish you guys were in class with me because I love exploring these modalities. And I invite you actually to explore some different modalities on your own outside of this. We would have a class assignment where you paired up and you explored and demonstrated some modalities for us in a fun way. You'll have to do this on your own while we're not hands-on. But there are a lot of different types of treatments and services that can be offered in spas depending on the spa. The first one is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is an ancient Indian system of medicine, and a lot of times Ayurveda has to do with the diet, the skin, the organs, the way everything works together. They use it through systems of different herbs and oils and stuff like that. And if you look at the table on page 14-2, I just want you to highlight the word Ayurveda and just meaning knowledge of life. Ayurveda is an ancient Indian system of medicine. You just highlight that little part. Craniosacral, deep tissue, we know what that is. Insulan. Insulan is actually a specific modality that was developed in Northern California. Features these very long flowing strokes. It almost kind of reminds me of Lomi Lomi. And then we move on to Lomi Lomi, and I want you to highlight Lomi Lomi in the table as well. Lomi Lomi originated in Hawaii and uses mostly forearms to knead, rub, and weave like a dance. Lomi Lomi is beautiful. I invite you guys to explore a little Lomi Lomi as well. It's actually a very beautiful, almost like a dance. And I'll see if I can't find a Watsu video for us to share while we're working on this. I don't know if it'll let me go into my own YouTube to share anything with you. We have manual lymph drainage. If you haven't done lymph massage yet, you will eventually do lymph massage here as well. We'll just be barely touching the surface. You'll also learn myofascial, neuromuscular, a little reflexology, Reiki. And then at the very bottom of your table, I want you to highlight shiatsu. Shiatsu from Japan uses finger pressure along with energy pathways that we call meridians, and they to invigorate the body and really to move the chi or the ki, the energy through the body. Flip the page. We also have structural alignment, Thai massage, my personal favorite. I've gone to Thailand to do my 100-hour Bharat Naran or Thai massage. I've actually done dual Thai massage trainings. And then lastly, in that table, we have Watsu. Watsu means water shiatsu, given with both guest and therapist in warm 90 to 98 degree chest deep water. The therapist floats, stretches, and massages and gives to open joints and glutes. Sorry, that's a typo on my slide. To open the joints, improve mobility, and open energy pathways. And while we're sitting here talking, I'm going to open up my own personal YouTube to see if I can find a link. We're going to share and watch maybe a little YouTube link on Watsu if it's easy for me to find. Mind body. Watsu. Here we go. All right, I'm going to change the stop. I'm going to stop the share. And now I'm going to see if it'll let me share a YouTube. Website URL. iCloud, Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, Bookmark. Screen. Maybe I can type in a URL. Let's see how this goes. If it doesn't work, we will not be sharing it, but maybe it'll work. Copy link. I want to actually see the link for this. I'm trying to figure it out for you guys. All right. HTTPS. Q 5X VH. This could either turn out very good or be very disastrous trying to type in a URL for a video. We will see what we get. Can you guys see a Watsu video, YouTube video popping up on the screen? Yes, good. Let's watch it. Let's see if it works. Can you hear it? Hopefully you can hear it, but if not, you'll get to see a little sample of some Watsu. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we'll watch a little bit. All right, you guys, so that was just a little bit of share, but didn't that just look like, oh, the video was black? You couldn't see it? Okay, well, it didn't show up, so maybe I'll post the link or something like that. You can always watch it after the webinar. It's really, really nice. It's too unfortunate that it doesn't share like that, and it took a little while for me to see, but I'll share the link later. It's really nice, Watsu. Maybe I'll actually type the name of it in here before we leave it so that you'll know what it is called. You would look for, it's in YouTube, and it's Introduction to Watsu, and it's by Minakshhiw Watsu. There we go. So hopefully you guys can see that, and you can kind of make a bookmark or a screen capture of it if you want to watch it again later. And I'll go back into sharing the slides with you guys. All right, and it's going to start over again every time I switch, so I'm just going to fast forward to where we left off. Yeah, Watsu is really nice. And then if you want to, I don't know if you've ever watched the show The New Girl, but then you can go into The New Girl Watsu, and that's pretty funny to see one of the episodes where Nick, one of the really grumpy characters on New Girl, had somebody do Watsu on him. Anyway, so we're going to move on. That's Watsu, water shiatsu. So you're moving somebody around in a pool, and because in a pool you have that lack of gravity pulling you down, everything's more easily able to relax, and you can kind of just move them around all over the place in the water to open up all the joints and stretch the limbs and everything. It's very gentle, super relaxing. All right, so we're going to move on now to Unique Spa Services, which is also over on page 540. Actually, before we go into Unique Spa Services, I didn't put this on a slide because I thought it was pretty redundant or self-explanatory, but it does pop up on one of the tests. So if you look on page 539, transitions during spa massage is the heading. And it says between strokes, between segments, and then it says between treatments. Highlight that first sentence. Between treatments is the one time when it's best to speed things up. I think we know we don't speed things up while we're massaging, so in between we'd speed up to get things done to move on to our next one, but it's a highlight, so I'm going to give it to you guys. And then we're moving forward to some unique spa services, and you'll see on page 540 stone massage. So stone massage is extremely popular in spas. It goes by many names, and I want you to highlight these names in your book as well. Stone massage, hot rock therapy, hot stone massage, and La Stone therapy. And there's even something in there that was actually a real term used. I want you to highlight, even though it's not on my slide, hotter in Texas summer rock massage. Guess you can call a modality whatever you want if it gets recognized, right? So we also have exfoliation. That's often done in spas through usually like sea salt or sugar scrubs. We actually learn about the hot towel sugar scrub here, right? We do that foot exfoliation on people as a spa enhancement in our own clinic here. Always try to upsell that to a client if you get the chance, so you have the opportunity to practice it. And if you look in your book on page 540, there's that little pink box that says exfoliation. It's a spa service which cleanses the body of dead skin cells and softening the skin for better elimination and absorption. So you can just highlight that in the box. There's also something called Parafungo, and it's a combination of paraffin wax and fungo. I made a typo in the slide, I apologize, and fungo mud used in a spa wrap. And there's also a box in your book to highlight as well under the Parafungo or Parafungo. Combo of paraffin wax and mud in a spa wrap. It softens and moisturizes while purifying, and it warms and relaxes the muscles. We also have something called a Scotch hose. If you look on the bottom of page 541, you'll see some other modalities typically performed. And these aren't highlights, but there's back treatment, bust treatments, cellulite treatments are very popular. They're usually some form of wrap. A lot of times some kind of seaweed or caffeine. There's like coffee wraps, things like that. And you flip the page, exfoliation that we just went over, foot treatments, herbal wraps, mud clay wraps, mud immersions, like these mud baths that you soak in, hydrotherapy bath, which you learned more about in the hydrotherapy chapter, saunas or steam baths, scalp treatments. We offer that one here too. We do the peppermint scalp, right? And the very last one is also on this slide is Scotch hose. I want you to highlight Scotch hose and also highlight its description. It is a high pressure hose, sprays the standing client. Sometimes it's seawater. It stimulates circulation. It's actually very invigorating as well. We're doing good, no questions so far? You'll also see there's sea salt treatments, seaweed wraps, Swiss showers, thalassotherapy, and the Vichy shower. So there are lots of different things. It wouldn't hurt to take your time to read through all of these, even though they're not highlights. Part of your hours that you earn are reading the chapter. And maybe use a highlighter with some different colors that are not the highlights for the test to explore some of these and look them up. Now we're moving on to one of my favorite things that I offer to a lot of clients. I wish you guys were here. So when I teach Spa Body, we often make our own aromatherapies. Do any of you guys have essential oils at home? You can either say yes or you can type yes. That's up to you. Any essential oils that are your favorites? I see a little clap from Adrian. So one of the things that I like to do is when we teach aromatherapy here, I have you make your own sugar scrub. But if you want to, next time for massaging your own feet or something like that, you get a tablespoon of sugar. You can add a little coconut oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil. You can even add a little bit of olive oil if that's all you have. I just can always smell the olive oil more than I can smell my essential oils. And then you just put 4 or 5 drops of your essential oil in there, and you stir it around and you use that as a scrub. And it takes a little while to find the right balance of not making it too oily. You want enough oil that after you scrub the skin and everything and you wipe away or wash away the sugar, that what's left behind is just that nice moisturizing oil and the right amount of scent of the essential oils that you put in there. Citruses are happy, things like that. And we'll actually explore some of the different smells in here as well, kind of go over those. So aromatherapy is on page 544. And in spa settings, aromatherapy is defined as the use of essential oils from herbs, flowers, fruits, spices, stems, barks, and roots. That's also a highlight in your book. The oils are used in massage, inhalation, or other modalities to affect mood and improve health or well-being. So one of the upgrades we have here as a spa enhancement is aromatherapy. We don't just have them inhale it. We actually will put some drops in your massage lotion that you're using, and you massage them with the lotion with that essential oil so that they can enjoy it the entire time. It is recommended to use a carrier oil versus using oils neat. Neat means full strength. And you'll see that highlight about using them neat versus full strength in a carrier oil in the second paragraph under essential oils. So essential oils, if you look under common essential oils at the bottom of page 544, essential oils are typically placed, excuse me. Essential oils are usually placed in one of 3 categories. And I want you to highlight these 1, 2, and 3 on your page. Top notes. Top notes are stimulating and uplifting with scents that last only a few hours. Eucalyptus, grapefruit, peppermint are all good examples of top notes. They don't last that long though. The smell's really strong and then it starts to dissipate fairly quickly. Those are top notes. Middle notes last longer than top notes. They're potent and therapeutic effects, but they don't necessarily have a strong fragrance. Chamomile, rosemary, geranium. Geranium to me has a very strong fragrance. For some reason, it elicits a smell that I don't like. So geranium is not a good one for me. You always want to ask before you just give somebody some sort of essential oil to make sure that it's one that they're okay with, right? And then base notes. They last longer or longest and are often sweet smelling and calming, like frankincense, jasmine, and sandalwood. And this isn't in your book, but I just want to talk a little bit really quickly about essential oils. Do you guys understand or know how essential oils work as far as why a smell can calm us down or make us excited or make us happy or anything like that? Yes, no? All right, so we have, no, okay. So we have our olfaction, right? Our sense of smell, where our brain processes smell is also in the part of our brain where our memories are stored. So that's why certain smells remind you of certain things. You guys have had smells before that make you think of something specific. That limbic part of our brain where our memories are stored is where our sense of smell, what we're smelling, is figured out in that same place. So citrus smells like orange and grapefruit and lemon and all those kind of smells are known to bring happiness and joy and feelings like that. However, say Adrian had a favorite grandmother who owned an orange grove He used to go there as a child and he loved the smell of the oranges, but she recently passed away. He was still really sad about it. And when he smelled oranges, it made him feel sad because it's processed in the same place as memories. So for the majority of the people, orange citrus scents are known to be uplifting, happy, but it may be different for someone else if they have a sad memory that is associated with a certain scent, since they're processed in the same place. A good example is boat diesel, not bus diesel. I don't like bus diesel. I love the smell of boat diesel. Growing up as a kid in Key West, my dad was a commercial fisherman. He was out there pulling crab traps. If I was out there in the boat with him, I'd be put on the engine box on a blanket surrounded by life jackets so that I wouldn't roll around or whatever. And the smell of the ocean and the boat diesel reminds me of my happy childhood. It reminds me of my dad. And for some reason, I'm instantly just happy and taken back to my childhood when I smell boat diesel. Most people aren't going to like the smell of boat diesel, but it's just linked to that memory for me in the olfaction, in the limbic part of my brain. So things like peppermint, uplifting, right? Energizing. And that's why we do the peppermint scalp massage at the end. We never do it during their massage. We did it during their massage, they would never relax. We do it at the end of their massage because they're not going to be nice and relaxed if we do it early on. A lavender scalp massage you could do to calm somebody down before you start the massage. Just depends on the oils. They're usually categorized as having different reactions for different emotional states as well. I have a nice little handout on that. So once you're back in school, or if you're not at this campus, if you're really into aromatherapy and you want me to send you the essential oils for emotional well-being handout that lists all the different things like depression, anxiety, anger, and the oils that work in all those categories, then send me a private email. I'll write it on the board for you at the end. I'll write it right now so it'll be up there when we're done. And I'm happy to send you that list. I'm writing it real quick and then we'll continue on just before I forget. Because if I don't do it now, I will forget. It's been a little bit crazy here. All right, I wrote it on the board for when we're finished. So you guys understand top notes, middle notes, and base notes. And then if you look at page 545, you're going to see some different essential oils, and it's going to tell you how it's derived, if it's cold pressed, if it's heat distilled, if it's uplifting or relaxing, if it's a top or middle notes. Also, it's going to list contraindications, like there are some oils that you would avoid during pregnancy or using on a client in a prenatal massage. And could you email it? Yes, I put my email address. I'll actually just type my email address in here for you guys because I have so much going on. I just ask that you email me to send it to you. And that way I'll remember and I can send it directly to you. So I just typed my email address in the chat for you guys. So for example, grapefruit is considered uplifting, cleansing. It's a top note. It can irritate the skin. It's pretty acidic, right? Especially if you're exposed to sunlight too long after the treatment, etc. So you just see a list of different ones here. Tea tree. Tea tree is antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiseptic, antiviral, antifungal. I have a tea tree serum that I recommend to clients that's mixed with a carrier oil instead of meat that they use on breakouts and acne and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to move on then. So aromatherapy massage, and we're picking up with highlights on page 547. Aromatherapy massage is the most popular aromatherapy modality used in spas, and that's a highlight in the very first sentence. Some places they'll pay $5, $10 just to have you put a couple drops in your hands and take a quick smell. But the most popular aromatherapy modality is actually using it in the lotion or the massage gel, and they get to actually smell it during the entire time. Essential oils can be blended into massage lotions and creams. However, some must be warmed appropriate to allow absorption. The essential oil, and it creates what's called an emulsion when they finally mix together. Sometimes they just won't mix, and we know like oil and water, right? And I want you to see the bullets under aromatherapy massage, that third bullet. I don't know that I put it on here. I didn't, but I want you to highlight that third bullet. The massage strokes are predominantly light and flowing, similar to in-salon massage. Because we're relaxing them, we're not usually doing deep tissue. We're trying to do light, flowing, Swedish relaxation massage strokes, unless you're using an invigorating oil, and the goal is to invigorate them. And we talked about in-salon massage earlier. There's a little box off to the right there. It's kind of off subject, but highlight that in-salon massage box too, just so you'll know. And I recommend really reading through this chapter. We do offer an aromatherapy CEU here too. That's a really good CEU. All right, if you flip to page 548, you're gonna see a box on the left that says emulsion. And it's just that last bullet that I gave you guys. An emulsion is a uniform mixture of 2 or more liquids, such as an essential oil and a massage lotion. And sometimes that medium needs to be warmed up in order for the oils to fully absorb. All right, so we're going to go a little deeper into spa exfoliation. We touched on it under that list of modalities, and there's actually steps for performing a spa exfoliation in here. We don't do that in class because we don't have wet tables, and we don't have a facility that's easy enough to clean it up. However, there are really nice steps here for going through and creating an actual scrub treatment. If you're in the Spa Therapies program where you're doing the skincare portion as well, you'll learn about doing back facials, right? And part of that usually includes an exfoliation. You could take that back facial up another step and turn it into a spa exfoliation by creating your own really lovely exfoliants, using some of the lists of what we have, adding some wonderful essential oils to it. A lot of times it's better to custom mix in the essential oils in case you have a client that doesn't like a specific scent, where you just have your exfoliant already made. You put it into your little cup and then add your couple of drops custom for each client, which you can also charge a lot more for. Clients love if they are getting a custom made exfoliation. So in spa exfoliation, it's been practiced in cultures, exfoliation itself has, for thousands of years. The root of exfoliate comes from Latin, ex to take away, and folium, leaf. And you'll actually find this highlight under perform spa exfoliation in that second paragraph. So ex to take away, folium, leaf. Exfoliation can be construed as taking away leaves. If you look through a microscope, the upper layer, the stratum corneum that we learned about in integumentary system, looks like tiny leaves. And ew, but these tiny leaves are sometimes visible floating in the air in enclosed spaces. You'd have to use a microscope, obviously. But next time we're all in class together, think about if somebody scratched, there's probably their little epidermis floating in the sky somewhere around you. Those little leaves floating. That's a lovely thought, right? So it talks about the benefits of exfoliation here. There aren't any highlights, but it assists the skin's regeneration process. It's going to help with cell turnover, right? It aids in the absorption of the products that you're using afterwards. That's why when we do facials, we exfoliate and release, get rid of and remove that layer of dead skin. So the body is more prepared to receive those serums, those moisturizers, all that good stuff that we put on. It thoroughly cleanses and promotes overall hygiene, and it creates a healthy glow and gives radiant shine to the skin. So cell turnover is usually 28 to 30 days as we get older, especially around my age. It changes to only like every 50 to 60 days. So exfoliating is really a lot more important in order to keep from getting wrinkles, to be able to have your skin absorb the moisturizers and things that you put on them. I want to go a little bit over some of the scrubbing ingredients on 550. Again, no highlights here, but a body scrub is a general term, refers to a wide range of exfoliation services. Body polish usually is a more refined, gentler type. And you'll discover there's a difference between using sugar and using salt. Sugar tends to be more rounded on the edges. It tends to dissolve a little bit in the medium. So while sugar can be used on the body, it could be used on the face as well. Salt is a lot of times too harsh to use on the face. The edges of salt grains are more jagged. So we don't usually use salt scrubs on the face like we do the body. So there's sea salt glows, body gommage, dry brush massage. Dry brushing is great for your lymphatic system. Swedish shampoos and loofah scrubs. So those are all just different types of exfoliations. And on the top of page 551, this last bullet on my slide, a wet table is a specially constructed waterproof treatment table with built-in drainage and used in spas for exfoliation and body wraps. It makes it a little bit easier to rinse and has drainage. There are some treatments when you get into Ayurvedic. One of them is called Shirodhara, where warm Ayurvedic oils are heated and slowly poured over the head and allowed to seep through the scalp down into a pan below. And you've got to have a good wet table in order to be able to do those kind of services and not create a mess or ruin your regular massage table. So that little box wet table on top right of 551 is also a highlight. And it kind of goes through a procedure here for exfoliation for the next few pages. And we're not going to have any highlights there at all. There's also a protocol for body wraps as well. We used to try to do body wraps in school, but we didn't have the facility to shower or clean the mud off. So we don't really teach body wraps here. A lot of time you're not going to get a body wrap CEU. Usually a spa, if they offer body wraps, they're going to, that specific place that you work is going to train you in their protocol for doing a body wrap, whether it's a seaweed wrap or a mud wrap or anything like that. So a lot of times if there is a body wrap, and I think this is over on page 558, if there is a body wrap, a thermal blanket is used, similar to the one that I attached in this picture. It's also known as a space blanket. And there's a box you can highlight on page 558. It's typically thin polyethylene and metallic coated. And what you do is you like, I don't know if you guys have ever had mud masks on. They feel cold to the touch. Imagine having that all over your back or all over your belly and your chest and your arms. You're usually wrapped in that thermal blanket to bring the heat in, to keep the aromatherapy in so you don't get cold, your body temperature doesn't drop. And it also allows that mud or whatever to do a better job if you stay warm with the pores open instead of cold with any kind of goosebumps or anything like that going on. All right. So before we jump into spa policies and philosophies, I want you to turn to page 561. I didn't create a slide for this because it was just one little random box. There's a box on page 561. Décolleté is how we pronounce that word. And it's the area of the upper chest, above the breasts, and onto the front of the neck. This area, we show a lot of age. We get a lot of sun here. If you're outside a lot doing outdoor activities, I wear a lot of sunblock, but this area, I kayak, gets splashed a lot. And so the décolleté is an area that a lot of people like to have seaweed, like to have very gentle scrubs because that's a delicate area. Peels, things like that done on the décolleté area. So before I jump into the spa policy and philosophies, do you guys have any questions for me over anything that we've done so far? If you don't, no need to write anything, but if so, you can either type or unmute and ask me. No questions? All right, we're going to continue to move on. There is a section on page 563 that is specialized spa equipment. We don't have any highlights there either. Part of your reading assignment when you read the chapters, I would look through some of those just because we don't have highlights for this test. They could very likely show up on an NBLEX or something like that. And some of those are actually ones probably that showed up in the hydrotherapy chapter as well. All right, we're moving on to page 564, Learn Spa Company Policies and Philosophies. So as a therapist, we need to know, accept, and adhere to company policies when we go to work for someone, right? We want to keep our jobs. We want to work successfully within that company. And these policies cover a range of employee issues from time to appearance, attitude, professional development, and physical attributes. And all 5 of those bullets are actually highlights. So time deals with our punctuality. We want to be on time, right? Do we do the service in the amount of time that it's supposed to take place? That was something that we started learning about early on. We first had you guys practicing massage on the table. We let you take that hour and 15 minutes if you needed it. And then once you got comfortable doing massage, we're like, okay, now you got to make it happen in 50 minutes, right? And there's a lot of reasons why that time per service is really important. You might have somebody else waiting to get in that room behind you. That client might have to get back to work. They may have a doctor's appointment, something like that. So a lot of times the policy is, this is a 50-minute massage. You don't go 60 minutes because they're not making money for those extra 10 minutes. And you as a therapist are not getting paid for those extra 10 minutes either. Also, how much time between service. Most places, there's no time between service. You have a 60-minute massage. It lasts 50 minutes. 5 minutes to do the intake, get them on the table, 50 minutes to massage, 5 minutes to get them dressed, out the door, flip your sheets, get the next person on the table. Every once in a blue moon, you might find some places that give you a buffer between services, but I'd say 99% of them do not. Also, some policies will allocate how much time you're supposed to spend on other tasks, like soap notes and things like that. Appearance is a big one, and that's part of the reason we have our dress code here. Is the dress code we have has come directly from the spa industry owners. So uniform, hair length, facial hair, body piercing, tattoos. The Hand and Stone I worked at, they didn't mind females with tattoos, but any men that had tattoos on the arms, they had these sleeves that you pulled up over your arms when you went to greet the client. And then once you were in the room and they were on the table, you could choose to remove those if it made it too hot for you to work. They found that, I guess at that location, females felt intimidated by men with a lot of tattoos on their arms. They're gonna have even policies maybe on makeup, weight, cigarette smoking, and of course neatness, because you're representing them to the client and to the public. Attitude's a big deal. Are you a team player? Do you help your fellow therapists flip their room if they're running behind? Are you responsible? Are you mature? Are you communicative? Are you positive? Are you calm under stressful situations? Are you trustworthy, humble, attentive, and do you follow instructions? Professional development is also an important part of spa policies. Continuous improvement. We know we have CEUs, but some spas will also require additional trainings, that they want ongoing skill building and advanced ed. They want you to be passionate for your work. They want you to work on your customer service skills and your sales skills and longevity of your spa position. And then, of course, physical attributes. Do you look healthy? Do you have a healthy lifestyle? Do you have the endurance to do your job? Do you have the strength to do your job? All important parts of policies and philosophies of a lot of spas. Customer service is also an important part of learning your spa philosophy. Customer service can be defined as the ability of an organization or individual employee to take care of the needs, wishes, questions, requests, and complaints of its clientele. I want you to highlight that. I want you to continue highlighting. Excellent customer service consists of doing this consistently to a high standard of satisfaction in a largely transparent manner, which means that customers often do not even notice that efforts are made on their behalf. The next paragraph, the very last sentence, I want you to highlight: 2 main customer skills that therapists needs in spa are retail skills and teamwork skills. Especially if you go in to spa therapies in the facial world, in the esthetician world, the skincare part is very retail driven. Some spas, the massage therapists are going to make money on the products as well. Definitely retail skills could be just upgrading the service from a regular massage to deep tissue or to hot stone. You're going to make more money if you're upgrading the service that you're providing. So having some kind of retail skill, doing it in a genuine, natural way where it doesn't seem forced. So most spas depend on retail profits to keep operational, and that's a highlight in your book as well. These skills should be executed with integrity and honesty. Without the profits, many spas would close and many therapists would be out of a job. And then sales integrity. Sales flow naturally from a discussion about the benefits of the products, right? We don't just randomly, oh, by the way, we have this great eyeliner and they're not even in there, they're in there for a massage, right? It has to be something that flows naturally, talking about the benefits of the hot stone massage upgrade, the benefits of adding the essential oil, lavender if they're stressed, or chamomile, the benefits of a sugar scrub if their feet are dry, or a body wrap, you know, things like that. So it's doing it in a natural way where it doesn't feel like you're selling them. You're trying to genuinely help the client feel better, look better, whatever the end goal is for that client. So I want you to highlight that in that first paragraph under sales integrity. About halfway down in that paragraph, sales flow naturally from a discussion about the benefits of the treatment. Next paragraph, the therapist should know, I want you to highlight this too, that selling products is not against any ethical code of any massage association. Sales skills, continuing. So we have 3 bullets under sales skills. For the therapist to sell skillfully, they must possess thorough knowledge of the product, right? We can't talk about something knowledgeably if we don't know what the product is or how it works or anything like that. And the last thing we ever want to do is lie. If we don't know the benefits, if somebody asks a question, we don't just say, oh yeah, it works great for that. And then they buy it and they complain that it didn't. There is never anything wrong with saying, you know, I'm not absolutely certain about that, the question to that answer, but I will find out for you. taking a second and finding out the answer for them, right? So part of what's important about being a good salesperson is what's in that first bullet, self-observation. Gauge your own feelings and reactions to the process. Clients often react to the body language and nonverbal messages. If you don't like selling, if you don't know the answer, if you don't like the product, or you don't like selling, the client is going to pick up on that. Be comfortable and don't be like a used car salesman, right? Just be natural with what the products are. And usually you need to try the products so that you believe in them, right? You can't just sell something if you don't even genuinely know the benefits of it. Closing is important. Highlight that bullet as well. It's important to actually ask for the sale. There's nothing wrong with it. If you've been honest and told somebody how well something works for them, don't beat around the bush, be direct. Simply say, so would you like to add this product to your order? Would you like to purchase this product? I think it would be great for you. Just very simple, sufficient closing. And then lastly, detachment. Don't take it personally if the client says no. You're going to hear no's. It's just maybe their budget. Maybe they didn't like the smell. It's never anything personal. You just detach from it and you're nice and serene and relaxed, and the client feels more comfortable and they don't feel like you're pushing them, and they're more likely to buy the product that you've recommended. Good? Any questions, you guys? I'm going to continue on. All right, let's talk about some teamwork skills then. These bullets, the 4 bullets under teamwork skills on page 566 are also highlights. Let's dive into those a little bit. You have the ability to work for the most part independently when you're a massage therapist. But when you work in a spa or someplace like that, you are part of a team, from the people at the front desk to the spa manager, to your fellow therapists, even your other estheticians, if you're there strictly as a massage therapist. And you have to be able to work together harmoniously, refer to the skincare person, or the skincare person refers the massage to you. The last thing you ever want to do is tick off the people at the front desk, because they're the ones signing people up for massages with certain therapists. You don't ever want to make an enemy out of your spa associates at the front desk, so you want to be a good team player. So here are some of the bullets, some of the highlights of how to have good teamwork skills. First is ability to follow directions. A spa therapist must follow the guidance handed down from spa management. It is essential for the team to work together as a unit, and all teams have a leader, and spas are no exception. You have to show that leader respect as somebody who is in charge of your team. Always try to anticipate others' needs. You should always be looking out for ways that you can help guests and other therapists. I'd like to add into that. Offering direction to other areas of the spa, bring water before it's requested. I mentioned earlier also helping other therapists. If you're done and you don't have a client right away and you see a therapist rushing around trying to flip their room, get it ready for another client, help them out, because guess what? They're going to remember that, and when you're in a pinch, hopefully they're going to step forward and help you out as well. Presenting a united front, refrain from speaking to guests about the internal operations of the spa. I see this happen a lot. You'll get in there, not you specifically, I've seen therapists get in there with a client before and then talk about something that bothered them going on at the spa. First of all, it's never about us, it's about the client. We don't ever want to talk about our problems. If they ask us questions, we always point it back to them, or ask them to take a deep breath in, a nice long exhale out, and try to keep them from wanting to talk. But especially, we don't want to talk about problems with management or other employees. We want to leave the conflicts outside of the treatment rooms. If you're having conflict with another therapist, and it'll happen, sometimes people get jealous or personalities don't mesh. Just take that deep breath in, that long exhale out, enter the treatment room and leave everything else behind and make it 100% about that client once you step into the room. That last bullet is pitching in. If a task is not part of the job description, it should still be executed diligently with a positive attitude. Maybe you don't clean, you don't empty the trash, this, that, and the other, but you walk into the bathroom and the garbage can is overflowing. Even if you don't have time because you're about to start on another client, you let somebody know, hey, I don't have time to do anything with this, but I wanted you to know the client bathroom garbage can is overflowing. You know, do something to help in and pitch at, help out, pitch in, do your part, right? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about advancing your spa career, but I want to talk a little bit about the employment opportunity in the spa industry. And I want you guys to ask me any questions you have as we talk about it. There aren't any highlights in this first little bit, but especially since we have a little bit of time in this lecture because we're almost done through the chapter. The contact between service providers and customers is perhaps greater in spas than in any other industry, making the hiring and training of quality personnel especially important as owners and directors continue to seek well-qualified therapists with the proper attitudes to fill many positions in spas all over the world. Having a good attitude will go a long way on your spa career. If you're willing to help out, pick up a shift if you're not in burnout and things like that, the owners will really notice that when it comes time to find a spa lead or a spa manager. Spas are currently the largest source of jobs for therapists and the single largest employer of new massage school graduates. Spas need therapists and therapists need spas. The synergy it creates a most promising job market and a wide range of possible workspaces. So you want to follow practical steps as you begin to carve out your career. Part of it is if you know there's a specific spa and they offer certain modalities like hot stones or something like that, a lot of them are going to train you in their protocol. But say this one offers Lomi Lomi and you don't have Lomi Lomi or something like that, and you're going to miss a whole big part of the clients that come in. Maybe you want to do a CEU in Lomi Lomi or something like that. But you want to make yourself marketable to these spas. Kind of check them out, see what they're looking for, different things like that. And then you need to be open-minded, positive. When you go in for an interview, even if you're running a little bit late, which hopefully you aren't, that you're remaining calm and peaceful, all those kind of things that are the attributes that they're looking for in a spa. And when you get into the business chapter, we really dive into this a little bit deeper with you when we help you create a cover letter and a resume. We try to do some mock interviews, things like that, so that you'll feel prepared when you go and interview. There's some really good information in this, though, that I invite you to read. But let's talk a little bit about moving up within the spa industry and several points to keep in mind, and you will find these highlights on page 569. At the very bottom of the second paragraph at the top of the page, right above advance your spa career, I want you to highlight, although newly graduated therapists are rightfully proud of their technical skills, it is not massage talent alone that gets them a coveted position at an exciting spa, but rather character, personality, presence, and attitude. And I can tell you guys, the massage therapy market is saturated. There are a lot of massage therapists out there. So walking in right out of school without all the extra CEUs, leaving here with an entry-level massage therapy education and expertise, you got to walk in there happy, looking clean cut, looking put together, peaceful, bringing in that good energy into the spa, because that's probably what they're going to be hiring you on. That and a practical. They'll usually have you do a 30-minute or a 1 hour practical. But you're right out of school. It's going to be your attitude and personality and that practical massage. It's not going to be really what's on your resume at that point. Down under advancing your careers, where those bullets are, if after careful consideration a therapist decides to move up within the spa industry, there are several points to keep in mind, and these are highlights. You want to lay a foundation. It's important to learn the job from the ground up. Become familiar with all aspects of daily operation before moving to supervising others. I've actually had some students who have started out as spa associates in the front of house as their job while they are finishing school here, and they've learned a valuable part of the business, the memberships, the appointments, how massages are assigned to the therapist. And then once they have their license, they get to advance into the back of the house as an esthetician or dual massage esthetician, etc., depending on what your license is. So you want to become familiar with the operations from the ground up. Those who take time to scale the ladder rung by rung often do better than just thinking you're going to jump from entry-level massage therapist to spa manager. Like usually you move up to lead spa therapist and then shift spa therapist or something like that, or location spa lead therapist before you can move into management. Become active. Therapists who expect to move higher need to get involved with overall operations at an early stage when you're first starting out. If there's an opportunity to volunteer, to help the manager, to learn the systems and more, it behooves you to spend a little extra time learning about operations in any way that you can. You can show a willingness to help in other departments that aren't your own. And then, of course, learning from others is really important as well. Watch how managers and supervisors conduct business, learn the protocols and routines of the spa, ask questions of other departments. Ask what's going on in another department so that you can have an understanding. All right, I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to come back to the screen. That was the end of the slides. Those were the highlights in the book. There's another little section here on opening your own spa that you'll be reading, what also is part of your assigned tasks for this chapter. Hopefully, eventually we'll be able to get in here and do hands-on and actually do some hot stone, sugar scrubs, scalp massages, work with some aromatherapy, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, we're reading and we're doing our theory, and that kind of wraps it up. Do you guys have any kind of questions for me at all with what you've learned? We got all our highlights and everything like that done? Everybody just chime in and say good if you can. Good, all right. Katina said yes. Adrian, are you good? Whitney, you're good as well? Good, all right. So you guys, that's the end of the lecture. Hopefully I'll get to see, especially some of the new names that I don't know if you're on Fort Myers campus or you're here at this campus, but hopefully I'll get to see you guys at some point in time. I love teaching live in a class where we can do all kinds of fun activities instead of just kind of following the book. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions or if you want more information. These slides are going to be on the MindTap. They should already be there if you need to review them. Eventually this video will be there as well. And in addition, the activities are going to be there, and you should be, from either myself or Christina, receiving some point in time today, if not today, then tomorrow, an email that gives a list of all the activities that are due by Sunday for this chapter. And I don't know if I'm teaching what comes next after this or not. I think, what is after this? After spa body? I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out for you. Somebody will be teaching you on Thursday. I think it might be Christina that's teaching you guys Thursday. So anyways, thank you all for being here. And since I don't see any questions in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and close out this meeting. And I hope to get to see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.